me emocioné, me la creí y dije, ahora tengo que entregar algo que valga la pena. Además, estamos en Dallas y viene mucha gente que no es de Dallas. Y yo como extranjero, como mexicano, siempre quise decir a un extranjero o a un no de Dallas, welcome to Dallas, everyone. Welcome to Dallas. Thank you all. Thank you all. It is a privilege to be here with you today. When I received the invitation to talk with you, I thought it was a great opportunity to share my points of view in a very, very complex moment. My friends, Mexico and Texas have developed a long-standing relationship based on mutual respect in difficult moments. Today, our border with Texas is an opportunity for both countries. The relationship between Mexico and the United States is very complex. It is one of the most complex relations worldwide, but I'm completely convinced that 2,000 miles of border should join us, not separate us.
Yes, that's right.
I remember that when I was a very little kid, a few years ago, my grandmother always told me, yo nunca voy a aprender el idioma del imperio. I will never, ever learn the language of the empire, meaning the U.S. The empire is the U.S. But I remember my dad telling me, forget grandma, let's go to Disney. Esa es la realidad. Mi abuela, my grandma, wouldn't speak the language of the empire, but her grandson visited the U.S. many times as a child. 1/3 of my family lives in North Carolina, and 1/3 of my family lives in Northern California. Mexico and the United States, Mexico and Texas, we are not distant neighbors. We cannot afford that. And to say that we're only neighbors would be a regrettable understatement. In 2005, something happened for the first time. Mexican soldiers crossed the border with the U.S. and Texas. The headlines of the newspapers that day were difficult to believe on both sides, but the pictures talk by themselves. The Mexican soldiers crossed the border for the first time to help their neighbors to deliver water and food to the American people in distress after Katrina. As you can see, it is not about being neighbors, it is about being groupies in a region called North America. I am part of the NAFTA generation. I was 18 years old when the agreement was signed. My generation began to trust and understood that the border doesn't have to be a wall. My generation was the first one to understand the great advantage of living next to the United States. The NAFTA was the great framework for the partnership between the two countries, and it was precisely in Texas where the agreement was signed. Es el espíritu de San Antonio lo que nos une. Today, the trade between Mexico and the United States, it's almost $600 billion a year and creates more than 5 million jobs in the United States. That's the whole population of Norway or Costa Rica. If there's a state that understands the importance of free trade and the good relationship with Mexico, it's Texas. Mexico is the leading trading partner to more than 25 states. None is more important than Texas, which easily ranks number one. The $200 billion, I repeat, $200 billion trade between Mexico and Texas last year creates about 500,000 jobs in Texas. To put this into perspective, the $200 billion in trade between Mexico and Texas is bigger, larger, than the whole trade that the United States has with its closest political allies in the world, including the UK, Germany, France, Korea, and Brazil together. More than 65% of all the border between Mexico and the United States lies between Mexico and Texas. Mexico and the Lone Star State have a long relation that with the years have been developing into deep integration. Mexico and Texas complement each other in economic issues, demographic issues, social and cultural issues. Just think about that. ¿Qué harían ustedes los tejanos sin Topo Chico? ¿Qué harían ustedes sin Topo Chico? Ya no pueden vivir sin Topo Chico.
No.
Let's be clear. No state in the United States has a better understanding of Mexico or Mexicans than Texas does. Texas fully grasps the implications of having a good relation and what's at stake. Mexico, or Mexican companies, have invested more than $60 billion in the U.S., and 35% of all the Mexican investments in the U.S. is headquartered in the Metroplex. Many brands are Mexican-owned and generate millions of jobs in the United States, especially in Texas. Many very well known, and others you will be surprised to know they are Mexican. Coca-Cola Santos Beverage, Arc, ahí están, es una inversión mexicana. Cinépolis, Mission Foods, Interceramic, Lala, La Moderna, Softec, Bimbo, Barcel, Kitsania, OmniLife. This is not funny, but it's true. A long time ago, I was invited to talk about the U.S.-Mexican relation to a club. I'm not going to say which party, but I can tell you this. I was telling them about this part of the investments, and I told them that maybe they didn't know that some iconic brands in the U.S. are Mexican investments, like Sara Lee Cakes and More Than Milk. And suddenly a guy stands up and yells at me, "That's not possible! You're a liar! Get out! You're a liar!" Al final lo sacaron, estaba un poco enojado. Pero ¿para qué me invitan si ya me conocen? Tengo que decir la verdad. Y la verdad es que México y Estados Unidos se complementan. Y de este lado hay claramente discriminación, hay racismo y cuesta mucho trabajo que todos entiendan que México y Estados Unidos estamos condenados a ser socios, condenados a ser amigos, porque no podemos separarnos.
That's right.
Someone said that geography is destiny. I don't know if it's true, but I do know that the relation between Texas and Mexico is not about competing with each other. It is about building things together, to be competitive together, and to stand together. But the most important thing that I want to share with you is that the Mexican people have always been a positive presence for the United States, and especially for Texas and for Dallas. This is not a personal opinion. It's a historical and scientific fact. Today, the relation between Mexico and the U.S., between Mexico and Texas, is very strong because it is a product of its people. People like you. Gracias por ayudarnos a crear esos puentes. Gracias a gente como ustedes. Gracias a gente que se siente profundamente americana, orgullosa de ser americana, pero con unas raíces muy claras, ancladas de dónde vienen y quiénes fueron sus parientes. Porque eso que llevan en el corazón es lo que les permite a ustedes seguir creando puentes con nosotros. Y eso nosotros no lo olvidamos. Y yo, por parte del gobierno de México, les quiero decir gracias por no olvidarse de nosotros. Muchas gracias. Many parts of Texas are home to a national community of millions of persons. I have to be respectfully against the words of some politicians in this state. But that shows us that immigrants contribute with their heart and not as word to Texas welfare, and the United States do. In Texas, the United States, Mexicans are businessmen, dreamers, doctors, lawyers, students, waiters. Por cierto, un aplauso para todos los meseros que están aquí atendiendo. Athletes, teachers, and construction workers. Whether it is our soldiers crossing the border to help in the aftermath of a natural disaster, or our business people creating jobs in the United States, or our immigrants coming to lead their hard work and sweat in the U.S., history shows that when Mexico sends its people across the border, we've sent our best and our bravest. That's a fact. Thank you, Lulac, Texas, for inviting me to talk today about something I am truly convinced. We have to continue building bridges. We do not believe in walls or tariffs. And I have to tell you something, and I rest my case. We will not pay for a wall. Con esto cierro. They invited me to be here. We didn't know. Nobody knew about the tariffs with Mexico. Así que la novedad es que tenemos que ser muy pacientes. Tenemos que ver cómo vemos por los intereses de ambos países. El gobierno de México le queda claro que no tenemos miedo. De ninguna manera tenemos miedo. Lo sepan todos, ¿eh? El presidente lo ha expresado así. Miedo no tenemos, somos tímidos. Pero tenemos que entender que es un momento muy delicado. El diálogo es lo que vamos a tratar de llevar a la mesa para hacerle ver a Estados Unidos, al gobierno de los Estados Unidos, que si nos imponen tarifas, se dan un tiro en el pie.
Sí.
Así de simple, porque los dos países están perfectamente interconectados. Muchas gracias por la invitación. Me siento profundamente orgulloso de estar aquí arriba. Tiene un sabor especial estar aquí. No es un speech normal. Me hacen sentir en casa.
Y estás en casa.
Gracias a todos y disfruten ustedes. Muchas gracias.